Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's edition of the Sunday Wire. I'm your host, Patrick Henningsen. We're streaming out live on the Alternate Current Radio Network and also at 21stCenturyWire.com. We're also streaming out live a special video edition on X, Twitter platform. We're also streaming out on YouTube, Rumble, and our Facebook page there at 21wire.tv. Thank you guys so much for joining us for this special broadcast. Really appreciate it. We've got a fantastic group of guests going to be joining us. We're going to be covering geopolitical hotspots. This is episode 495 of the Sunday Wire. Again, I'm your host, Patrick Henningsen. Now, we're going to be joined in the first few minutes. We're going to welcome onto the stage a diplomat representing the country of Yemen to talk about the situation as it's breaking right now in and around the Bab el-Mandeb Straits, and also talking about the axis of resistance, their position on geopolitical and regional matters right now as they stand. And we're also going to be joined by international journalist Shay Bowes in the first hour. And I'm going to be looking forward to that discussion with Shay. We're going to cover Ukraine. We're going to look at history. And we're going to ask the question, why are the U.S. traditionally, historically, always backing extremists around the world, whether it's in Ukraine or whether it's backing al-Qaeda factions in different parts of the world? Why is the United States always backing the extremists? We'll talk to Shay about that and more. Looking forward to that. It's going to be a very informative segment with Mr. Bowes, Irish journalist. Fantastic work he does with RT and also independently as well. Now, I want to welcome onto the stage our very special guest right now. He is from the country, representing the country of Yemen. He's going to join us right now onto the stage. I want to welcome onto the program our special guest in just a moment as we connect him. His name is Yasser Almohallil, and he's going to join us on the live link in just a moment as soon as we get his connection set. I want to welcome Yasser to the stage right now, and if we can just make sure we've got his audio. Yasser, welcome to the program.
Hello, Patrick. Thank you so much for inviting me to your show, and thanks to your audience as well.
No, thank you very much. Very much appreciate it, Yasser. And we have, because of your internet connection, there'll be some delay on the video, but hopefully we'll work our way around that. But we do have a very good audio signal. Yasser, thank you for joining us. You are a diplomat. You're working in the Foreign Affairs Department with Yemen. And explain us the current situation right now as it stands in the Red Sea. What is Ansar Allah's position as things have developed quite rapidly in the last week? If you could just walk us through the current situation as your government sees it. Go ahead, Yasser.
Yeah, now, what's happening in Palestine is heartbreaking, actually, and Yemeni people and Yemeni leadership could not just stand and just watch what's happening, slaughtering people, killing a lot of civilians in Gaza, slaughtering children, bombing hospitals, and also bombing mosques, besieging Gaza like no medicine, no food can be allowed to enter to Gaza Strip. And there is a real massacre that's happening in the Gaza Strip because of Israel is intending to kill every single person in Gaza. And this situation couldn't be just, silenced by the Yemeni people, because if we have been in such a situation, as you know, Patrick, during the last 9 years of the coalition, what's so-called the Arab coalition war against Yemen, we know how hard it is to just, be under bombardments, to be under siege, to be not allowed to have your simplest rights of humanitarian rights. And all of these things, motivated the people of Yemen to stand in solidarity with the people of Gaza and of the people of Palestine. Of course, our leader, Sayyid Abdul Malik al-Houthi, have, in his first speech after the October 7th happened in Palestine, he talked about how the Yemeni people will get engaged in this battle if the US is going to just keep supporting the Israelis to keep their murdering of the Palestinian people. And he warned the Western countries not to fully engage with Israelis' crimes, and they have to push towards stopping these crimes against the Palestinian people. But what happened was on the contrary, unfortunately. The U.S., helped the Israelis, with major weapons, and they, put all their capabilities for the Israelis to keep on the killing of the Palestinian people. In this moment, Yemeni people and their leadership decided to take action against these atrocities happening. Of course, we started, the people of Yemen, or the military, the Yemeni military started to launch ballistic missiles and drones towards Eilat, the occupied Eilat of Palestine. And when the crimes, took upgraded by the Israelis and took a new stage, of course we decided to just block all the shipping, to all these Israeli ships, or these ships heading to Israel, to the occupied Palestinian parts. And of course, this decision was, as we all have seen, it was welcomed inside Yemen. It was welcomed across the Arab world, even globally. A lot of people around the world, greeted these actions from the Yemeni people, and also they were they were just we have to take actions in the Red Sea. The Red Sea, as you can see, it's a critical Yemeni geographical position. It's very critical, and we have so many chances to just to tease or just to do a lot of things for the Palestinian people. When the first strikes started to target the Israeli ships, it was only targeting the Israeli ships, and those are heading to the Israeli or the occupied Palestine ports. But the United States of America and the United Kingdom, some of other Western countries, decided to change the core of what's going on in the Red Sea into international shipping threats. For example, they said Yemenis are, putting threats for the international shipping in the Red Sea, and this is not true. And you can see this. When this first happened in Palestine, then there was a reaction from the Yemeni people. It's not like this came from nowhere and it happened. It just happened in the Red Sea. And I told you, during the last 9 years, we have been imposed to a very critical situation in Yemen. We have been bombed. We have been killed, but we did not, go close or decided to just hit the ships or to put threats in the Red Sea or in the international shipping of maritime in the Red Sea, because we believe that we can engage directly with these troops affiliated to the Saudis, and these troops affiliated to their puppets in the ground. We can fight with them, but when it comes that far to the Israeli to the occupied territories of Palestine, we only have this choice to stop this genocide within the engagement of the Red Sea, or what happened in the Red Sea. But after that, the US and the UK and some other countries that some of them are not even mentioned, like Bahrain and Seychelles Islands, decided to just form a coalition to stop these actions in solidarity with the Palestinian people, but they really just made the situation worse, because the United States can, firmly know that they cannot stop the people of Yemen of what they're doing, and this is going to be a very big crisis for them, because before the engagement of the United States and the UK, their ships were not a target battery. Now they are. So if they came to put a red lines, they really, really just, removed all the red lines before the Yemeni people. And this is who's to be held responsible for this? It's the United States of America and the United Kingdom for pumping Yemen in a very critical violation of the international law. You cannot come, from overseas and from thousands of miles away to pump a country that have a sovereignty and have its own people under actually they are still under a war and under siege by the Saudis, their allies, the allies of the United States of America. But what happened during the last 9 years when they used all kind of weapons against my people, when they used all kind of and all means of siege against my people, they got nothing. They got no victory. They only got defeated, and they made the Yemeni people even more empowered with very developed missiles, very developed, war instruments. And now they are trying to just, to militarize the sea. And what's happening when you militarize the sea, you actually make a big crisis that you cannot, you don't know where it's going to be. And then, the United States right now thinks if they do these actions, they will just, make the people of Yemen just change their minds and, okay, just keep killing the Palestinian people and we will do nothing. No, we actually get motivated by the threats of the United States. We get more ready to confrontate with them. We don't actually, as a Yemeni people, we don't actually get scared or fear the threats of the United States. We know that the United States started the war against Yemen 9 years ago when it was announced from Washington, when the Saudi ambassador back then announced the war against Yemen from Washington, what's so-called decisive storm. And we know that the United States is directly and indirectly engaged to this war. They are subsidizing Saudi Arabia. They are, just giving them a lot of weapons to kill us. Now, what happened when they failed throughout their allies to subjugate the people of Yemen to their opinion, to what they want from the people, to get back, like just affiliated to the Saudis and to be a U.S. followers. No, this is not acceptable for the Yemeni people anymore after the 21st of September revolution in Yemen. And now what's happening is that the United States figured out that they have to launch a war against us themselves. And this is a very changing or dramatically changing position for the United States. But what's the result of this war against Yemen by the UK and the US? It's not going to be any, and it's not going to be in their interest actually, because Yemeni people are, can stand in solidarity and steadfastness for a long time, and they will not hesitate. Now they will not hesitate to protect the country, to protect their people. They will not hesitate to target all the interests of the United States in the region, and also the interests of the UK in the region. And if they want this crisis to stop, they should not just go and look how to form new coalitions to launch a war against the Yemeni people. They should do a humanitarian responsibility in the first place. They should go to Palestine and stop the slaughtering of Israeli army against Gazan people. They should immediately allow all the medicines, all the kind of food that the people of Palestine are in dire need of into the Gaza Strip, and this tension will, immediately end. And if they want to to upgrade this crisis, it will not be. It will actually be against their interest. and it will make the situation worse, of course.
So our understanding, Yasser, just according to international law, if you look at multiple UN resolutions, we're also looking at the Geneva Convention, the Genocide Convention as well, which is currently in The Hague. So the position of Ansar Allah, correct me if I'm wrong, but your government in Yemen is you're sanctioning Israel, and you're backing up the sanctions with the seizure of Israeli material support for a genocide heading towards Israeli ports. That's exactly what the United States have done and Britain have done in the past when they think that a country that they're sanctioning is doing something they don't like. They do seize their ships. They've done this to Iran and other countries. So you're basically doing, in accordance to international law, and you're imposing the same policy that even the United States has done in the past. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, Patrick. When we come to the international law, as it is for real, we our actions in Yemen are, go with the international law. It doesn't violate the international law, because if you want to stop a genocide, real genocide, you should just act with all the means. You have to put pressure on the side who is making this genocide against the Palestinian people. And when you talk about a lot of people getting killed in Palestine, and in the contrary, you can't just stop this genocide by trying to see some shipping or international shipping towards the occupied Palestine ports. It means that you are doing something is not harmful. Actually, you're not actually deciding to kill civilians in the sea. You're not actually deciding to harm civilians, as you can, as everyone watched during the last couple of months when Galaxy Leader, the ship, was seized by the naval forces of Yemen. No one was harmed. Everyone was safe. Was clearly safe, but it was, an action of an action that is needed to stop the genocide against the people of Palestine. But when we come to the international law that's taking place by the perspective of the United States, they are just, trying to camouflage all this international law and what helps them to keep on this slaughtering of the Palestinian people, because the United States say there is no evidence of killing innocent people in Palestine. Can you imagine that, Patrick? Over 25,000 innocent people were killed in Palestine, and the Biden administration says it publicly to the whole world. There is no evidence of a deliberate Israeli killing innocent people. This is really insane. It makes you burn from inside. You want to do more than you're actually doing in the Red Sea, and of course we have to focus on how to stop this genocide against the Palestinian people. And what's in our hand right now is the Red Sea and the international shipping and the Red Sea. We are not imposing threats to the international shipping or the movement of maritime trade over the seas. We are imposing threats on the ships of Israel, of companies affiliated to Israel, or those are heading to the occupied Palestinian ports. And even before this, Patrick, the ships of the United States companies, or these are affiliated to the U.S. Shipping companies, were not a target. Even the ships of the United Kingdom were not a target. But after they decided to bomb Yemen, to violate our sovereignty, to kill our soldiers, that now they became a target, because this is what happens when you just target another country's sovereignty, when you target another country people. They don't think that we are this kind of people who will keep silent because the United States just introduce itself like the most powerful state in the world. No, we really don't fear the power of the United States when it comes to our safety, when it comes to our people's safety, when it comes to our sovereignty safety. Because how many people can the U.S. kill? Let's say if even if they use a massive bombs against our people, they cannot kill every single one, and they cannot shut people up because they are standing in a very fair situation, in a very fair position, in a very humanitarian position, alongside with the oppressed people of Palestine. If they want, as we say, if they really want to just go with the international law and make something different than they are doing right now, I mean, the US and the UK, they should put an end for the slaughter of the people killing in Gaza. They should let humanitarian aids into Gaza, and this will immediately stop from the side of Yemen. We don't have to target more ships. Or these are affiliated to the Israelis, because we believe that the United States is living with the crisis. They are not living with any other position. They like to see more crisis in the Middle East. They cannot just solve problems in the Middle East unless it comes with their interest. But our position doesn't come with their interest. As we speak, Patrick, the ongoing massacres against Gazan people is still on the ground, and Israeli troops are still killing every single person in Gaza. They're not just justifying their kills because they are killing Hamas or something. No, they are fighting every single kid or child in Gaza. They are fighting every single elderly people in Gaza. They are preventing people from having their essential needs, like having medicines, food, and everything that the human needs to stay alive. So if you don't kill them with a bullet, you kill them with a starvation. This is not acceptable. And if the Arab League today is facing all these crises with a silent note, the Yemeni people will not stay silent while the people of Palestine are under a very tragic situation, and we're just watching them being killed and tortured and prevented from their essential needs. We will stay and we will continue this position of the Yemen. We will continue to target all the ships affiliated to the Israeli companies, and those are affiliated now to the US companies. Of course, even the warships of the United States are now a target for the Yemeni armed forces. And if they want to stop this arc of tension, like you titled your show today, they should immediately put an end of the genocide in Gaza and stop intervening in Yemeni's interests.
Well, it sounds a very straightforward policy. One would hope that Washington's diplomats could get together with Yemen's diplomats and come to some understanding or agreement, but that hasn't happened. We hope that it does happen, and we really appreciate you coming on to explain the position.
Yeah, actually,
Go ahead. Go ahead, Yasser.
Just to add a little bit, in this engagement, I'm telling you, the United States try to send messages to our diplomats outside, like Mohammed Abdul Salam, our chief of delegation, have announced a couple of days ago that they are receiving a lot of messages from the Western countries, the United States, from a third party. It's not a direct messages, but it comes from a third party. But they are asking our people and our leadership to stop these strikes against the ships of Israel or these affiliated to the USA, and there was a clear response to these third parties are delivering the message. That these strikes will not be stopped until enough food and medicine are allowed to enter to the Gaza Strip, and if the United States is trying to isolate what's happening in the Red Sea from what's happening in Palestine. They will not be able to do this because there is no, even the international community doesn't go with the U.S. narrative according to what's happening in the Red Sea. They believe that even Guterres, the UN is believing that what's happening in the Red Sea is linked to what's happening in Palestine. Russia also stated with its senior officials from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that what's happening in the Red Sea will not be de-escalated unless Gaza, the war against Gazan people is de-escalated and enough food and medicine are allowed to get into the Gaza Strip. The Chinese also as well, they have stated that this tension in the Red Sea is linked and also is in a way or another to what's happening in Palestine. France did not approve to engage to this coalition that the U.S. have recently formed to comfort the people of Yemen. A lot of countries believe that are aware that this what's happening in the Red Sea is directly an engagement to what's happening in Palestine, and if the U.S. wants to to show themselves as the protector of the seas or because no background on what's happening in the Red Sea, this is not acceptable. And actually, people don't buy it, Patrick, and they believe that the United States of America and the UK are doing a very big mistake right now in the Red Sea, and the result of what are they doing is not going to be any in their good interest. And what they should do right now is stop any aggression against the people of Yemen, and to go to the Israeli cabinet, to the Israeli leadership, to ask them to stop their genocide against people of Palestine, because this is going, the ball of fire is going wider and wider. By the time Iraq is engaging in this tension, Lebanon is engaging in this tension, Iran recently have some actions. Maybe it can be for further engagement in this escalation. And if the United States are really, want to do something good for the region, for the Middle East, they should right now, convince the Israelis to stop their genocide and to bring back life to the Gazan people.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Yasser Almohallil. We really appreciate
Thank
your
you
time.
so much, Patrick.
And we hope to speak to you again in future with more updates, I hope. And again, thank you very much from myself and our audience.
I'm so gratitude. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Patrick, and thanks to your audience.
Thank you. Yasser Almohallil, diplomat from Yemen, explaining to us what the position is of his government right now in this very tense situation, which has the potential to escalate, as Yasser has explained, and not for any really good reason. Certainly, the blowback from this will be very difficult to contain, that's for sure. Not everybody in the world has fiber, has Google Fiber, unfortunately, but we managed to get a strong audio connection with Yasser in the first hour. So that was great to hear the policy that coming directly from Ansar Allah regarding what's happening in the Red Sea in the United States and Britain declaring war on Yemen, to get their perspective so people know what their diplomatic position is, because we're not seeing that. Those conversations are not happening on the mainstream media. So how could our diplomats and foreign policy experts in the West know where Yemen's coming from if the Yemeni delegation is not allowed on Western mainstream media? That's why we seek out some of the guests that we do, because we think it's important that if you are in the West, that you are better informed. And we're hoping that some of that information trickles up to people in diplomatic positions, so that we can come to maybe some amicable solutions to some of the things that we're seeing right now happening around the world. That's just me. That's just my sort of viewpoint. So anyway, listen, folks, I really appreciate you guys joining us. Hello to everybody in the 21st Century Wire chat room, the new green bubble. Great to see you guys in there. We've had some good responses there. Look, if you want to see more of this program, more of the content we do at 21st Century Wire, please support us during our winter fundraising drive. We really, really need it. And going forward, we talked about our digital TV for smart television channels that we're developing right now. We have already hired somebody to help with that. So that's in the works. And that's all because of you and the generosity of some of the people who support this. And we've got some big donors as well who've made some big contributions. I really appreciate it. We'll put some progress up. Subscribe to our email shot at 21stcenturywire.com. We'll give you updates on that. And also support the Alternate Current Radio Network. This is an independent network, an artisan network. It's been going strong for a very long time. They host this program, The Sunday Wire, and many other great programs such as The Boiler Room. You saw Hesher, you heard from him. Those are the types of people that are behind ACR. Definitely an organization that you want to be supporting. So listen, folks, that's all we've got time for today. That's the show. Really great to have you guys with us. We did the whole show continuously on video this week. Give us your feedback. Tell us if you liked this format, if you liked it on audio and video. We might not do it exactly this way next week, but we're just kind of doing some experimentation with different types of formats over these next few weeks. So give us your feedback as well. We really appreciate it, and we'll make some changes and do accordingly. We will tighten certain things up, but we're just kind of getting our feet wet on the video simulcast at the moment. So bear with us, and hopefully we'll get there. We'll get there in the end, but we can't do it without you, our audience. Love you guys. Take care. Have a great week. I'll see you. Some of you will see me live or hear me on TNT Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time, starting tomorrow. So it's going to be a busy week. I hope to see you guys there. Take care.